Boom, boom, boom. Wake up. Get out of the haze. Let's train. Let's learn. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about mastering your mind, mastering your reality so you can create the exact life that you want and get everything that you want. I know how much you want success. I know how much you want to win. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it by using mental mastery. So I'm going to give you three things here. One is the mental model that you need to have success. Number two is how to win every single week, because I believe in weekly progress, not just tracking daily progress. And number two is mental training. I'm going to give you a full protocol that I use myself that helps me guide my mind, harness my mind as a tool to achieve whatever I want, both in how I sell, because I work in sales and I train in sales, and that's what I do. That's my sweet spot in terms of how to sell more as a closer, in terms of how to consistently win and achieve all my dreams and have the freedom that I want in my life. Okay, let's start. So the first thing here is I want you to know where I'm getting the inspiration of this from. If you haven't read these two books, you need to read them. Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz is one of the most transformative books that I've ever read in my entire life. It is the blueprint for how I execute on different areas of my self-improvement, different areas of my success, different areas in terms of money, even how I see myself, how I see my relationships. Psycho-Cybernetics was very transformative for me, and it essentially breaks down the paths to success and how you can create a reality of success by changing your perception about the world and your beliefs about who you are. Another book that's a bit out there, not for everyone, but if you do value learning, if you do value increasing the way that you perceive yourself in the world and the path that you're on, the path that you take, check out Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland. I'm not going to say too much on it here. That book is a bit extra, but I've read it and it's very powerful, and it's added some concepts and some models into my life on as far as how to achieve success and how to pursue what I want. The key, of course, is these books are great, but what I want you to do is execute on the books, not just read the books for the sake of it, but actually execute on them. Use the concepts, use the principles, and get what you want in your life, okay? As I usually say, always, I have nothing to sell you. There's no pitch coming at the end of this video. What I really want is for you to take fucking action. So subscribe if you want free education. That's the best I can offer you. Right now, I've got nothing to sell you. Subscribe to the channel if you want free education. And if you seriously want to grow and you seriously want to take action in your life, the best thing you could do from this is to press the subscribe button, because you're not going to see this kind of training anywhere else on YouTube. There's no one who's going to go this in depth with you and just give you all the secrets, give you all the tools without upselling you to some course. So I don't have any of that, but subscribe if you want free education. And if you want to reach out and chat with me, figure out what's going on, get more detailed, learn more about the protocols, learn more about how to grow, shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll respond to you. I respond to every single message that people send to me unless they're selling me something. Now, the first thing you have to understand is the idea of mental models. Okay, this guy over here, I'm sure you know, Conor McGregor. I think he's such an example of having winning mental models. The mental model is your interpretation of inputs and data, okay? What's happening is you're getting information in from the world. You're always getting information. Me, working in high-ticket sales, I'm always getting information from prospects. And when I first started my sales journey, the information that I was getting, I would always interpret it as this is difficult or this is hard. And because I would interpret it as this is difficult, because I would interpret it as this is too hard for me, I would repeat this in my life, and I would feel that everything was difficult. A perfect example of a mental model is, imagine that you're in a park, okay? You're in a park on a beautiful sunny day with your girl, let's say, or whatever, with family, friends, and it's a beautiful day. That park is amazing. You feel good. You feel happy. You're healthy. You feel great. And in the park, there's also a homeless person who's struggling to eat. He got into a fight the night before. His lip is busted up. He's got a couple coins to his name. He's hungry. He needs food. All he wants is a cigarette and a burger. That's all he wants. He hasn't taken a shower in about 3 weeks. That guy being in the same park as you, the data that he's going to be getting from the park, the interpretation that he's going to have of that data, of those inputs, those sensory inputs, no matter how much the sun is shining, no matter how beautiful the day is, no matter how many people are having fun or their families are having fun, he's going to see it as a bad day and a struggle. Why? Because his interpretation of the inputs, his interpretation of the data is that it is difficult, is that it isn't easy. So your interpretation of inputs and data is going to be the result of your mental model. As an example, some of these interpretations would be like making money is easy versus making money is difficult, right? Or I'm the shit. I'm amazing. I'm a high value man versus I'm not good enough, or I'm a high value leader, right? This is an important thing in high ticket sales, believing you are the leader, believing you are the man who can lead the prospect out of their pain and into a new reality of success. I'm a high value leader, versus the other side is what I say isn't important. There's actually someone I'm talking to right now, someone I'm working with in his closing abilities, and he's trying to get to 15K per month, and he's struggling a lot. He's stuck at a really low number and he's not closing high. And the reason he was struggling before he came and started training with me is literally because he is not seeing himself as a high value leader. He's seeing himself as someone who isn't important, as what he has to say isn't important, as the prospect doesn't respect him. And because he sees it this way, because this is his reality, he's manifesting this. And inside of his calls, the prospects are getting turned off. The prospects are giving him all kinds of objections because he doesn't actually believe at his core that he is the high value leader. So what we're doing is working on changing his mental model so that he can start to believe he is the high value leader and what he has to say is important. Thus the money will flow and the money will come. That's ultimately the secret. Now, this video is interesting and I'm going to share it with you. I want you to watch this. It's an example of the mental model. Muhammad Ali here, this is actually a clip from a movie, but Muhammad Ali is recreating a real scene in this film where he was talking to his team. He was about to fight George Foreman, who was one of the greatest pound for pound fighters in the world at the time. And Muhammad Ali was rising on the come up. And he had this incredible mindset of nothing is bigger than me. Nothing is too much for me. I can handle it all. I can handle anything. And this video encapsulates the mindset. Okay. And I want to share with you what happens here.
You all looking so damn scared. Like you're going to a funeral. I'm the one fighting George Foreman. You've been believing all that stuff you've been reading about how hard he hits. George Foreman knocked down Joe Frazier. He destroyed the kid. The hell with George Foreman. When you get out here, if you're afraid, just smile. Just act like you're happy. I'm not gonna win the fight if I went out thinking like you. Damn George Foreman.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, right? It's the reality you create for yourself. It's at the end of the day, it's the reality that you create for yourself, right? The reality you create is either going to be this is too much for me or this is something that I can handle. This is too much for me and it's too big for me and I'm not good enough, or I can handle it. The money is easy. Getting the girl I want is easy. It's easy. I just need to show up and do the work and I will win. And it's hard to do this. It's not easy. And I'll tell you how to do it. I'm going to exactly tell you what to do. I'm going to train you up in here. You have to construct a new mental model. That's the secret. You have to build a new mental model around the success that you want to have. This applies to dating because this is my first skill set. I was a dating coach for many years before I started working in sales and training others in sales. So dating was my first background, like meeting really attractive women, bringing them out to the club, being with a lot of different girls and things like that. And I'm not going to say that that was, the best use of time, but it was the first skill set I had. And I built a business making several $100,000 a year teaching men how to do this. So I started looking for new data and I started interpreting the data differently. And this is what you have to do if you want to construct a new mental model. You have to look for new data and interpret that data differently, which means two things. One, when you get rejection and setbacks, you have to reframe them. So when there's something that happens that's bad, that's not good, that's not ideal, that you don't want to happen. Let's say you lose a deal, right? Let's say that you're close to handling objections on a call and the prospect doesn't buy. Or let's say there's that girl you wanted to go out with and she ghosts you. Okay, you have to reframe rejection and setbacks. You can't frame them as this is happening against me. This sucks. I can't handle it. It's impossible. It's so difficult. It's so tough. Life is so tough. You have to reframe rejection and setbacks as it doesn't matter. I learned from this. And the literal manifestation of this would be when I would go out and meet women, when I would go out even and train clients in meeting women, we'd be out in the club together and I'd be with some guy who was trying to get better in dating, who was struggling. He was rough. Women weren't into him. And he would go out and he would approach a girl. He'd get rejected and he'd come back with his head hung. Oh man, see, this is what keeps happening. Boom, there's your mental model activating. You think it's tough. You think this keeps happening, so it has to keep happening. It's your reality. What if instead you reframed it and you laughed about it and you were like, that was so funny, dude. Did you see the way the girl like looked at me? Dude, that was great. Let's go get another one. I love women, man. They're hilarious, right? You have to fake it. You have to literally look for new data and interpret the data differently. Celebrate wins relentlessly, okay? When you win, when you get success. This is actually what took me from being stuck at making 5K a month to being able to make 15K a month. It was because I started celebrating my wins relentlessly. I would close a deal for 7K for my own business. I'd go out and celebrate. I'd go out, take my girl, go out and, grab a couple cocktails. Back when I was drinking a lot, back when I was hanging out and partying, I would go out and celebrate it. Then once I stopped partying, I still celebrated. I'd get a workout in, or I'd go fight with the bro of mine. I'd say, yo, no work today. Let's go on a hike. Me and my dog will go on a hike. And I would consciously say, this hike is in celebration of my success. This hike is in celebration of me winning. This hike is in celebration of the success I'm having. Because when I would bring in new data, when I would get new data, oh, I won. I just had success. I dated that girl. I slept with that amazing, super hot, super cool girl, right? I hit a new PR in the gym. I have to celebrate it because I need my brain, I need my mind to consciously recognize I am winning. It must happen. So when you even win in small ways, you have to celebrate them relentlessly. And you have to change the inner voice. This is the secret. Change your inner voice. So you're constantly telling yourself things about yourself. You're giving yourself messages, right? Like, again, prospect doesn't close, or you have a bad day at work where things don't work out for you, or that business you're working on starts to falter. It starts to go cold. What does the inner voice say? Oh, I just can't seem to get over the hump. Oh, it sucks. I need to do better. That's the inner voice. Who do you tell yourself you are? Your inner voice is giving you messages. It's voices from the deep. It's voices from the deep within you telling you who you are and programming you. You're programming yourself, bro. It's not even just society programming you. It's not like, oh, your phone is the only thing programming you. You're literally programming yourself with the words that you say, the things that are inside of your heart, the messages you give yourself. So who do you tell yourself you are? Do you tell yourself you're the winner? Do you tell yourself you're the champion? Do you tell yourself that you deserve to have success? Do you tell yourself that success is something you can attain? Do you tell yourself that you are the leader, that you are the person who can bring a prospect to another level of success and they'll pay you, they'll invest in the offer that you have? Do you tell yourself that? What's the inner voice that you're speaking with, that you're communicating with? And this applies to even high-level business owners, wherever you're at. Let's say that you're starting your journey as a closer, or maybe you're running a business where you're already doing 10 to 20K per month consistently. What does your inner voice tell yourself? Do you tell yourself that you're a leader of men? Do you tell yourself that you can bring a team together and people will follow your path? Is that what you tell yourself? Because that's the inner voice. Become aware and present and begin to treat life as a meditation. This is the other part, and I'm going to speak more on this later, but bro, I've become so present recently, and I'm not even saying this as a flex. I'm not saying this to brag. What I'm saying this with all humility because I wasn't here before. It took me so long to work on this, but I treat my life as a meditation, whether I'm in the gym, whether I'm on a call, and I'm going to be sharing actually this Thursday, there's a call coming out that I did where I handle someone's fear and someone's objections, and it's really powerful. And in that call, and all my calls, the ones I'm going to be sharing also in the future, I treat them as a meditation. I'm present. I'm still. The videos I make with you right here, I'm not looking at you directly as a person. I'm looking at a camera, right? I'm looking at a screen, but I treat this moment as meditation with you. This is a sacred moment here where I'm sharing. And because I'm present to the value I'm giving, because I'm present to what I'm sharing, it increases my relationship with my mind. It builds a healthy tie between what's going on up here and what's going on in here. So what I want to deliver in my heart and my soul, my mind is aligned with it because I treat my life as a meditation. I treat it all as a meditation. I bring it all together and I sit within the meditation. I sit within the moments of life and I experience them fully. There's a quote from Bruce Lee. The mind is like water. When it's turbulent, it's difficult to see. When it's calm, everything becomes clear. These are facts. I wanted to just share that with you because it's so key. The mind is like water. When it's turbulent, when it's confusing, what is that? The haze. The haze. When you're in the haze, what some people call the matrix, it's difficult to see. You can't see what's in front of you. When it's calm, everything becomes clear. So you must train your mind. You must master your mind. I'm going to tell you about how to win weekly. Okay, we're going to look at weekly winning. Here are the measurements for growth every week. I'm not a fan of measuring every day. That's not me. I'll be really honest with you. Some days I have where I'm just not on my shit, but every single week I'm on my shit. Every week I am. Every week I'm moving the needle forward. And I know that I have 52 weeks in a year to be at a different place than I was at the beginning of the year. Or for my birthday, which is November. I know that I have 52 weeks from when that birthday hits for me to be at a different place. That's 52 opportunities. I don't like looking at it in days. 365 times every day I have to do something. Because some days I'm slower, some days I'm working harder. But I take it by week. So I have a weekly protocol, a weekly regimen that I follow for self-mastery that I make sure I hit every week, and I never ever will fail this. It will not happen. I will never fail this. If I'm on vacation, I don't care if I'm visiting mom and dad. Like, I literally was at my parents for Thanksgiving, traveled back to the US, and I'm taking calls, I'm investing in my business, I'm training in my mentor's program, like I'm doing all this stuff in Thanksgiving weekend, while my mom is like, no, why are you going to the office and working? It's because I cannot fail. I will not fail. Now, every day I don't do this. Thanksgiving Day, I bummed out, ate food, watched Netflix, watched football, hung out with my sister, hung out with the family. Cool. Next day, I bummed out a little bit. My dog's in the background barking, so excuse me about that. Next day, ate a little bit more, had more fun, got back to work, right? Back on calls, back grinding, shooting videos, and I warmed up, and I won for the whole week. I got back to it gradually, and then within the week, I had a big win, right? So here's the self-mastery protocol. Skill set mastery is number one. Every week, are you working on your skill set? Every week, are you pushing the skill set forward? Let's say you're a copywriter. Are you working on the skill set there? Let's say you're working as a closer, working in the high ticket space like I am. Are you building the skill set? Either maybe reviewing your calls, either going and role playing, getting back on more calls, opening your calendar for more volume, closing and working on building your closing rate to where you're hitting 35, 40%, 30%, whatever, all that's good, right? Mastering your impulses as well, right? The impulse to go out and maybe drink, the impulse to watch porn, the impulse to scroll the feed. Every day you're not going to win. This is a fact. Every single day you won't win. Some people can. You can get better at it. I know for me, I alternate. Some weeks I'll go like a full month without ever succumbing to any of the distraction, to the haze, no porn, no scrolling, nothing. And then I'll have a day where I'm like, fuck it. And a lot of times, I'll tell you the truth, when that happens is when I accomplish a big goal and I invest a lot of energy in getting to another level. So I'll spend like a month immersed in taking action, immersed in growth, and then I'll accomplish and I'll hit the precipice, kind of the peak, and I get to the top of that mountain for me for that month, and I'm like, fuck, that was intense. And then the next day or two, I'll just kind of bum out. Maybe I'll watch porn. Maybe I'll go out and party. I never drink. I don't touch alcohol. But maybe I'll do something like that, blow some money, something like that, just to let off the steam. And then after that day or two, I'm back on the grind. So I master my impulses and I don't succumb to them. They don't drive me by every single week. Then consistency is the other part of self-mastery. Showing up and doing the same thing over and over again. Every single week, hitting the gym. And what I'll do is I plan my high-level goals. So right now, my two high-level goals are crushing fitness and working on the business. Not necessarily my skill set, because my skill set in sales is at a mastery level. So I don't need to consistently try to work on it. There's just so many opportunities where I'm constantly training, either with my guys, training people who are looking to me for help and guidance, or I'm on sales calls closing 20K deals, right? So I'm consistently working on my skill set in that sense, but that's not the high level goal for me. For me, the high level goal is building the business, giving back value. But what are your high level goals? You should have two of them, at least two. Crush fitness, that's one for me, right? Got the gloves back here. I'm in the gym, putting time in to working on myself in that sense, on my body and my health, my fitness, eating right. And then the other part is working on the business. Then you want to have your weekly mechanisms. The weekly mechanisms are essentially what you're doing to work on the high level goals every week. So right now I've got 3. Gym 5 times a week. That's number 1. Every week I'm in the gym 5 times. Okay. Without fail, I'm not missing days. I'm in the gym 5 times. Shoot 3 pieces of content. I shoot 3 pieces. I shoot for our private community a project I'm working on right now. And then I shoot 3 pieces of content for YouTube. I upload 2 times a week, but I want to have a cache of videos in case something happens and I can't upload. I want to have them scheduled and prepared. So 3 pieces of content. Daily call review or role play. That's another one. This is not something I always do because I've moved away from role playing because I've got my skill set to a high level, but I was doing this. Or I'll review or role play either with someone who's training with me and learning from me, or I'll go with someone on my team and I'll review a call with them, one of my calls, and look at what I could have done better, different angles I could have taken, or role play with someone on my team, kind of shoot the shit back and forth, practice objections, practice pitching, all these kind of things. That's the weekly mechanism. So this is how I'm moving the needle forward consistently. What I want you to understand, and this is a real key, and we're about to get to something crazy good here. Your mind is a tool that's either going to work for you or it's going to work against you. Okay. Your mind is a tool that's either going to help you or it's going to hurt you. One or the other. It's either going to sabotage you or it's going to work for you, and you're going to own your mind. Your mind is the entity that you must control. You must control your mind. Your mind is going to go haywire if you don't control it. It will own you and it will control you. I want you to control it. I want you to win. I want you to have success. This is why you must control your mind. Now, Here is how I control mine, and here's what I do to make sure that I'm always on point and that I'm always moving forward. Here's basically my mental protocols. Number one is I carefully choose my circle. Now, I'm blessed to be in a position where I've got a group of amazing dudes that I'm surrounded with here in Budapest. I'm with some great guys, and I've got a network of guys all over the world that I can rely on, that can support me, that I can reach out to, that I can support as well, that are crushing it, that are moving things forward, right? Carefully choose your circle. Number two is to limit information overload, even good information. And I really mean this. I'd say about 5 people that I really listen to consistently. 5 people I listen to. I'm not going to get into who they are now. We can make another training about that another day. But I limit my information. So I'm not constantly consuming info. Like right now, as an example, I'm not reading any books. I'm not constantly reading a book every week. I'm not taking in new information. I have phases where I want to learn and grow. Usually that's towards the end of the summer and the winter. Like end of summer, I start reading more. And then through the fall, I grind again. And then winter, I start to read a bit more and prepare myself for the next season and take in new information. Like last year, I was reading and studying and training a lot of sales to get that to a very high level, right? This year, I'm going to be reading and studying again about psychology, human emotion, and things like that, and persuasion, kind of part 2 of understanding how to support people, build communities, and build a brand. That's what I'm focused on right now. So I limit my information overload, even good information. I'm not just taking in, have my ears plugged up all the time with podcasts, have them plugged up with information and stuff. You practice presence and awareness. This is the other part. So I'm practicing being present all the time. When I'm doing an activity, I stay present with it. I even do this in my workouts. I don't just slam through a workout just for the sake of it. I take my time. I lift lighter weights now. I push myself, so I feel a pump, but I'm not slamming the heaviest weights just like, oh, my ego, I went to the gym, bro. I'm actually lifting weights that are just under what really, really is really heavy for me. I stick just under that. And I do a few more reps, and I concentrate and I meditate on the rep. Even the music I listen to in the gym now is not, like fucking Drake, Lil Baby, which I love that stuff, honestly. Like I love listening to that, right? Black dude who grew up in Brooklyn, that's me. I love that stuff. But that's not what I even listen to in the gym. In the gym, when I work out now, I listen to Stoic meditation. Or occasionally I'll listen to a basketball podcast because I'm a huge NBA fan. But outside of that, I'm listening to Stoic ambience, Stoic meditation. I listen to spiritual chants. Seriously, it's a bit weird. It's out there. It's not the cool thing to do. I know that's not what everyone does. Everyone's got to get in the zone. But for me, my zone is meditation, becoming one with my mind, becoming present, being aware. Dominate the battle of your phone. Again, like I said, this device is going to either hurt you or it's going to help you. You can either have it work for you or it's going to work against you. You know what's on my device right now? I'm going to show you straight up. This is how my device looks. Look at that. Look at the colors right there. It's just gray. All my apps are shelved, and I've got all the ones that I need right here. Got Notion, Slack, working with my team, YouTube Studio. That's it. And over here, everything else that I need, I can access. So it's black and white. I don't want my phone to be fun. I don't want my phone to be exciting. I want it to be purely a place that I get information from, and that's it. Hold to your word, speak and deliver. Become a man of your word. That's another thing. When I tell my friends I'm going to show up and do something, I do it. When I tell people that I'm going to show up for them, I do it. When I tell someone, look at this, listen to this. When I tell someone I'm going to make plans, hey, we should link some time and meet up, I'm going to do it. Now, I'm very careful with who I plan that with because I don't want to commit to meeting everyone. My time is valuable. My time is precious. But I hold to my word. I speak and I deliver. My mind becomes trained. You must commit to what you say you're going to do. And lastly is embrace discomfort. This is something that I love doing, and it's been challenging for me. I'm not going to bullshit you. Like, it's been a fucking challenge embracing discomfort. I love comfort. I love luxury. I love making my life comfortable because I work hard for the ability to do that to an extent, with whatever way I can. But start to embrace discomfort. So I'm always finding ways I can. If it's cold, if it's cold and rainy, here's an example. If it's cold and rainy, that's the day that I'm going to make sure I walk to the gym, right? In the cold and the rain, within reason. I don't want to get sick, but I'm going to walk to the gym instead of getting a taxi or taking a metro. I'm going to walk, right? I'm embracing discomfort consistently, so that I can put myself in a position where I'm present throughout chaos. That's the goal. And one thing that really helped me with this was when I was learning dating, I would be meeting girls in some of the most intense environments in the world, some of the best clubs in New York, Miami, LA. Again, those environments are not the best maybe for self-improvement, but I used it to embrace discomfort. I used it to be able to connect with beautiful women and stare them in the face in the middle of chaos, in the middle of competition, in the middle of the loud noise, all of that. And it helped me as a man to embrace discomfort. So you have to find your discomfort. Embracing discomfort on sales calls. right? That's how you can do it too. When a prospect gives you objection and says, oh, that's a lot of money, not backing away and saying, fuck, they can't do this now, but actually diving into it, confronting it, figuring out what's actually going on, what's the fear, what's the hesitation, what's the anxiety, what's coming up for them, right? That's a part of embracing the discomfort. There's always ways to find discomfort. There's always ways to push yourself to your limits, and that's the key. That's what I want for you. If you master your mind, you're going to master your reality. That's the reality, bro. That's it. If you master your mind, you will master your reality. That's ultimately what I want for you. That's where I want to see you get to. That's really the top of the mountain. That's where you're going to see the change come from, when you can master your mind. And that's why I made this training. So that's it. Be blessed. Once again, if you want to grow more and you want to back yourself and you want to train yourself and you want to commit to yourself, press the subscribe button, because that's really where the value is going to be. Just seeing what I'm doing and being a part of this community we're building here on the channel, and being a part of it and engaging, interacting, and learning and growing. If you made it to the end of the video, also you can shoot me a message on IG, oxy.tim. I respond to all of my messages, every single one of them. Unless you're selling me something, then I'm not going to respond unless I see the value in it. Otherwise, be blessed. Take care. I will see you on the next one. Get out of the haze. Wake up. Take action. Step up. Become the leader who can create and attract what he wants. I'm rooting for you. I only want to see you win. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, my friend.